Okay, so we're going to take a look at writing inputs and variables in Scratch and in Python. So what we have here is we have a simple code I've made in Scratch, which basically when I click the Go button, it's going to ask what the worst Pokemon is, and it's going to wait for my answer, and then it's going to save my answer. So let's just try that. So what is the worst Pokemon? Obviously, the answer is Boing. Okay, and he just says Boing. Now, let's just take a look. Boing, just so you know, is this Pokemon. Okay, worst storyline ever. Just don't. But anyway, that's Boing. So that's how I do it in Scratch here. I could say, what age are you? And if, it'll ask me, what age are you? And I say, I'm 52. And it'll just say 52. And he doesn't say anything else. Kind of boring. Anyway, how can we do that in Python? So here in Python, I have my print command. Print, what is the worst Pokemon? So it'll pop up in my code here when I press go. What is the worst Pokemon? But you can see this little arrow. This signifies the code is over. So if I input anything, if I say Boing now, it's going to give me an error. Okay. It says Boing is not defined because I'm no longer in the code in the program. So let's try change this. I'm going to change this print this time to be an input because I want the user, that's i.e. the person on the keyboard, to tell me what they think the worst Pokemon is. So now when I run it, you'll notice it doesn't end the program straight away, and it leaves it kind of here with a like thick white box. So I'm going to type Boing, and it just ends. It doesn't actually say, oh, you think it's the worst. It just ends. So okay, at least the input's working. There's no errors. So now I wanted to get to say, okay, look, I want you to print for me. You think, and I'm going to say, you think, add in Boing is the worst. And notice how I'm using my quotation marks. Okay, you think Boing, oh, sorry, not Boing. I want to say answer, whatever answer you give is the worst. Okay, so let's try run this. Already it's given me an error, but we'll just see what happens. So when I run it, what's the worst Pokemon? Boing. And it gives me an error. Name, answer is not defined. It's like, oh yeah, it doesn't know what you mean when you say answer. So it doesn't know what this variable is. What is answer? So I want answer to be whatever they write for line 1. So I'm going to say, oh, okay, well, answer can, oopsie doodle, sorry. Answer can just equal to all of that stuff. So I want answer to be whatever you put here. So let's try this. What is the worst Pokemon? It's Boing. And it says, you think Boing is the worst. Now notice think and Boing and is all joined together. Okay, so a way around that is just to, after you put the word you think here, put a space. And before the word is, put another space. Now when I run it, what's the worst Pokemon? I'm going to go crazy and say Pikachu. It's not. Okay, he's the best. But you think Pikachu is the worst. Okay, boom, done. So we have it working that it can take an input, it can take that and turn it into part of a sentence or something else. Now, let's say I change this. I'm going to say, instead of the word answer, I'm just going to say cannon. Just a word, the word cannon. So cannon equals this. It's going to give me, what's the worst Pokemon? Pikachu. He's not. And it says, what's name answer is not defined. What would I need to do here? So if I've got the word cannon here, I'd need to change this word to the word cannon. And now it should work. What's the worst Pokemon? Bleh. You think Bleh is the worst. As long as this word is the same, you can call your variable whatever you want. You can call it input if you want. Although I would, sorry, you can't call it input. It'll change color there, you notice. So you need to call it something else. You can't use keywords like print and input. So I'm going to say question. Okay. But if I call that question, I need to change this word to question as well. You think question is the answer. Well, you think blah is the worst. Okay. And that's the basics of how to do an input and create yourself a variable. Best of luck.